We are waking up here in the Gila National Forest in Chloride Canyon. And today, we're going to make our way deeper into the forest. We're actually going to drive all the way across the Gila to the west side. It's over 120 miles, so it should be an adventure. This was a real nice spot for the night, nestled back in here against these canyon walls. Alright, we're gonna let that finish off. I'm gonna try to use this little bread toaster. I haven't used it in a while, but we'll see how it does. So you just fire it up and wait till that screen starts turning red and you're good to go. One slice done. Not bad. Cool. That's how you have easy toast out on the trail. Cheese is all melted nicely. Just slap that on there. It's getting windy again. Alright, I'm gonna enjoy that and start getting things packed up. Here's a look at that toaster. It's made by Primus. Pretty handy out here if you want some toast. I've also been enjoying this Zimpire camping table. It's a new addition. Had it a couple months. But it's got all the legs are adjustable, and we're kind of on a slope here, but the table's totally flat. Taking one final stroll here before we pack things up and head out of the canyon. There are supposed to be some petroglyphs around here, but we haven't been able to locate them. I've seen pictures, so I know what I'm looking for, but it could be anywhere. And Linda, that was a nice lady who gave us a tour of the Pioneer Museum in the last video. She said there's a cave somewhere out here that has more petroglyphs. And I've seen several things that look like caves, but really hard to reach. Almost looks like a big cave up there. Well, it's about 10:30, so I guess we better head on back to the truck and pack her up and head on down the road. Got everything packed up here. Went ahead and covered everything again because we got over 100 miles of off pavement driving today, and really helps keeping the dust off. I kind of feel dumb for not following my advice a few videos back and topping off whenever you can when you get into this part of New Mexico. I really want to go right. That's west, further deeper into the Gila. Closest gas station that way though is about 130 miles at least. The original plan was to go back to Silver City or that way, backtrack anyway, but now that we're down here I just want to continue on through the canyon. But we're gonna go left and head back east to Winston. It's the only gas station around here. So we're going to top off and then head north from Winston and hit another road that's going to take us west into a different part of the Gila. Coming back into Chloride here. Man, that was a nice spot for the night. We didn't see a single person since we entered the canyon yesterday. No vehicles drove by. It's my kind of spot. So we're heading to the Winston General Store. Now I'm kind of nervous because it says it's closed. And last time I was over here, they had still had the old school pumps that aren't digital, so I don't know if they'll be turned on. If they're not turned on, we're gonna have to go all the way to Truth or Consequences to fill up. Woo, they're open. You know you're in the middle of nowhere when this kind of pump. Woo, I'm so glad they are open. That would have been an 80-mile detour to get gas if they weren't. So we're heading up here north, and we're gonna start heading west into another part of the Gila. Okay, here's our turn west. Now if you keep going straight here, in about 45 miles you'll hit the very large array where we came from a few days ago. But we're gonna head west, and we're heading into the heart of the Gila. Continental Divide. And here we are at the Continental Divide trailhead. Mexico to Canada. Looks like we're about to leave the pavement here. These kind of signs you like to see. Getting back in those wide open spaces. I love the Gila because it's just so vast and so different depending on which angle you approach it from. As you can see, this is totally different from the canyon area we were in earlier. Got onto more primitive road here. We're about 40 miles into the forest. We're going through a prairie dog area here. Saw a couple of them running. And the tunnels they build all over the place. So we've only passed 2 other vehicles so far. One of which was a Forest Service truck. That gives you an idea of how remote it is out here. To some that might make some people nervous, but I love it. This is what I look for. The road got smoother. We're cruising. Coming up on the mountains, we're gonna be camping up into some higher elevation tonight. Should be nice. Getting back into the tall pines here. The scenery just keeps changing. How crazy is this? We're about 70 miles into the forest now. There's an old payphone. This might have been a phone for thru hikers there for emergencies. There's an airstrip not far from here too. Took a side road here. It says there's a lookout tower up here. I'm not Not sure if it's in operation, but might be a nice view. Oh, it's kind of chilly and windy up here. Surprisingly, it's not gated here. Probably won't be able to get inside, but we can climb up and take a look. Oh, look at this. It's actually... How awesome is this? These things are usually locked up. Imagine having this job, just sitting up here all day. The views wouldn't get old, that's for sure. And I can feel the structure shaking in the wind. Hear that thing? It's pretty windy. And here's the trap door out. Let's hope we can pull it back up again or we'll be stuck in here. That was pretty cool. So looking at the fire restrictions, they're in stage 1 right now. And that means that we could have a fire if we camp in a developed campground. Which that's not usually my jam, but there is a pretty chill one that we found a few years ago. And if there's no one there, we might just camp there tonight. It's down in the canyon area with tall pines and a little creek running through. We're gonna head there and see if there's anybody there. If not, might stay there for the night. Coming up on a herd here. Lots of fire damage in this area. It's pretty bad fire here a few years ago. Down here next to Willow Creek. Let's see if there's anybody in this site down here. It's a tent camper in the first spot. I think we're in luck. Doesn't look like there's anyone here. Yeah, look at this. Not bad at all. Already got some firewood for us. Though this fence is new since I've been out here, I don't really care for that. Kind of blocking the river here. So we traveled 91 miles today from the Winston general store that we filled up at. That gives you an idea of how large the Gila is. I believe it's around 3.5 million acres, making it one of the largest national forests in the United States. One of the reasons I came here is because I knew this would be a chill place to sit and get caught up on some work. And also, so we can have a fire tonight. Currently stage 1 fire restrictions, so we can't have a fire at any dispersed campsite. But you can have them at developed ones. And it's going to be a little chilly tonight. It's already down to 46. Blessed with the sun this morning. Doesn't feel too bad. Even though it's 23 degrees out here. So we're going to get packed up. We're going to head down the mountain to a little ghost town called Mogollon. Check that out. And then go for an awesome hike. Should be a good day. I kind of feel sorry for Miles when it gets this cold. See that lump in there? He's buried under there. See if we can get him to come out. Hey Miles, you hungry? Are you hungry? He knows what that means. He's a smart kitty. He's going right to where I'm taking his bowl. Well, we're all packed up here, heading up the mountain and down the other side to the ghost town of Mogollon. Let's go. Made it over the mountain and coming into the old mining community of Mogollon. They call it a ghost town, but I think there are at least a few residents. Let's check it out. Something was making noise in that building back there. Could have been a ghost. Check this out. Where do you suppose this goes? One of the old mines, perhaps. Well, that was the Mogollon ghost town. Sure was quiet. So now we're heading down to Glenwood. There's a ranger station there and we can top off our water. That was quite the trek across the Gila. We've come 115 miles since the Winston General Store. And we finally have made it to the other side. Made it to the Glenwood Ranger District. You can usually go to ranger stations and top off your water and get information on whatever national forest you're in. Alright, we got topped off. 10 free gallons. Should be good for the next week or so. Now we're gonna head back to Glenwood here and top off some gas and head to Mineral Creek Canyon. Alright, we have arrived in Cooney Canyon. We're right here next to the trail. And the trail is the reason we came down here. This is Mineral Creek Trailhead. And this is an awesome little hike in the canyon. Wow, this looks inviting here. Look at this spot. This little seat with the fire pit. And this is pretty awesome here. This is probably from the Cooney days. Pretty cool. People are still using it today. We're coming up on all kinds of stuff now. This trail goes for miles and miles, however long you want to hike. This is such an awesome canyon. It's my favorite hike on the west side of the Gila. There's the Dragon Eye. Some of the creek crossings can be tricky out here. If it looks like you went off the trail, you probably should have crossed the creek. Cross right at the waterfall. There we go. Lone Rock. It's pretty cool. Well, that was Mineral Creek, Cooney Canyon. Pretty awesome little hike there. Gonna head back to the truck and make a little dinner. Pretty hungry. I think we're gonna do a little shrimp stir fry tonight. All right, we made it back. I know this isn't the awesomest sight in the world, but I think we're just gonna park it right here tonight. Got a little fire pit action. Of course, we can't have one because the restrictions. Also have a little creek access over here. Yeah, this should do just fine for an overnight spot. And tomorrow we're gonna go to one of my favorite places in the Gila. Here's what we're working with. Some millet and brown rice ramen noodles. We have some soy ginger sauce, some chili paste, fresh carrot, broccoli, zucchini, little garlic clove, and our shrimp. And here's our supervisor right here. Want that butter? I think we'll get the veggies started first. In the meantime, right, we'll let those chill for a sec. Right, here's a look at the final product here. Gonna add a little chili paste and some more sesame. And there we go. Right, we're gonna enjoy this dinner. And I think we're gonna end the video here, folks. Once again, thanks for watching. It's been another awesome adventure. And in the next episode, we're going to be heading to another part of the Gila and taking a dip into some wild hot springs and checking out another awesome canyon. So stay tuned and we'll see you further down the trail.